Hey guys, it's Luke. In this video, we are going to learn some English from my favorite cartoon. We're going to look at a clip and learn some English from it. Okay, but before we do that, don't forget to subscribe. Hit the subscribe button. Give the video a like if you like it. And if you want to learn English more seriously, check out my full courses in the links in the description. All right, let's get started. Rick and Morty is my favorite cartoon. It's one of my favorite TV shows. It's hilarious. If you haven't seen it, watch it. Maybe don't watch it with your kids, but watch it anyway. It's very funny. It's not for kids. It's a cartoon, but it's definitely for adults. Anyway, today we're going to look at a clip. I'm going to show you a clip, and then after we watch the clip, we're going to learn some English from it. We'll look at some expressions, some phrases, and we'll talk about what these things mean and how we can use them in our daily lives, in our everyday spoken English. So, let's take a look at the clip, and then we will talk about it.
Hey, Rick, I have to make a project for the science fair this weekend. You think you could help me out?
Whatever.
Well, I mean, traditionally, science fairs are a father-son thing.
Well, scientifically, traditions are an idiot thing.
Morty, I think it would be fun for you to work on a science project with your dad.
Yeah, Dad, why don't we do it together?
Yes! You backed the right horse on this one, son. We'll get out the crayons, brew some coffee, and knock this thing out in 2 or 3 days.
If you didn't know, the voice of the kid, Morty, and the voice of Rick, they are done by the same person. The same actor does both voices. Just an interesting point if you haven't seen the show. Anyway, let's talk about this scene. So basically, Morty has a science project. It's a very common thing for kids in school, middle school. They have a science project, and they usually have to ask their parents to help them a little bit. It's kind of a tradition for father and son to work on the project together. However, Morty's grandfather, Rick, the crazy old man, he's a scientist. He's not just a scientist. He is a genius. He's very smart, okay? So he naturally will ask his grandfather to help him, and they always spend time together anyway, right? So that's the situation. He wants to ask his grandfather, but then his mom reminds him that he should ask his father, because his father feels a little self-conscious, because actually his father's kind of stupid. So that's the situation. That's what's happening here. Let's go through the lines. I have to make a project for the science fair this weekend. The fair is the event.
Hey, Rick, I have to make a project for the science fair this weekend.
Everyone will do a project, maybe at the school. It'll be sort of an event in the community. People go and they look at the different science projects, and Morty hasn't started his yet. Okay, now that's the situation. Do you think you could help me out?
You think you could help me out?
Whatever.
Now, when do we use help me out instead of just help me? Why say help me out? Well, it's definitely more casual. There's no real difference in meaning. Could you please help me? Could you please help me out? It sounds a little bit less formal. It sounds more casual if we add out to the end. I'm not exactly sure why. I mean, basically, it's the idea of I'm in a hole. I need you to grab my hand and pull me out of the hole, right? But it just means help me, okay? So whenever you want to make a request of someone, when you want to ask someone to help you, if you want to make it sound a little more casual, maybe you can say, help me out. Please help me out. Can you please help me out? Would you please help me out? Please help me out for a few minutes. I don't know how to do this by myself. It doesn't have to be a project. It can be any kind of help. Lifting a table, doing a project, or solving a problem, whatever it is. Rick says, whatever.
You think you could help me out?
Whatever.
Now, whatever can be used in lots of ways. If someone says, hey, where do you want to go later? Wherever. Wherever means I don't care where, right? What do you want to eat for dinner? Whatever means I don't care what we eat for dinner. Now, Rick is saying whatever to Morty's request to help with the science project. What that means is yes, But he's not saying, yes, I will, Morty, my grandson, my dear grandson. I will help you, right? He's saying whatever, meaning, I don't care, but yes. He's not saying no. He's saying yes, but showing with his yes that he doesn't care. Rick is a rude old man. He's rude to everybody, especially his grandson. He doesn't care about anything, usually. And so that's why he says whatever. It tells us something about the kind of person he is and the way that he communicates. He's not nice to anybody, including his grandson. Traditionally, science fairs are a father-son thing.
You think you could help me out?
Whatever.
Well, I mean, traditionally, science fairs are a father-son thing.
Morty's dad is kind of complaining that Morty asked Rick. Rick is the genius, right? So it makes sense. But his dad feels kind of hurt by that, right? So he hopes he can do it with his son. So he reminds him that it's traditional for a father and a son to do that kind of project together. But he says a father-son thing. Thing. Why do we use thing? It's a thing, right? We often add thing to something when we want to describe it as normal. It's a doctor thing. What's a doctor thing? What does that mean? What could that be about? Well, maybe you got a prescription from the doctor, handwritten prescription, right? Your doctor wrote it, and you can't even read it. In fact, doctors are famous for having terrible handwriting, very messy handwriting. So we might look at the prescription and say, oh, what does this even say? I can't read it. Is that twice a day or Z a day or what? I can't read it. I can't understand it. Yeah, it's a doctor thing. It's a doctor thing. It's a normal thing among doctors. Well, scientifically, traditions are an idiot thing.
Traditionally, science fairs are a father-son thing.
Well, scientifically, traditions are an idiot thing.
So actually, Rick is saying that basically, traditions make no sense logically, right? He's a scientist. He only cares about logic and science. So he's making fun of Morty's dad for suggesting that traditions are important. Basically saying traditions are stupid. Then Morty's mom says, I think it would be fun to work on a science project with your dad. Notice that she stresses the word dad.
Morty, I think it would be fun for you to work on a science project with your dad.
We stress words or focus on words in a sentence when we want to make sure that the other person is paying attention to that. That is the thing that we want to get across most. What is she saying by that? She's saying, in a way, it's very important that you make your dad feel better. He feels a little insecure. That's what she says in her text message about his intelligence. Insecure means you don't feel confident in yourself. And so by saying with your dad, she's kind of nudging him without saying it obviously. She's just using her voice. She's using stress to get it across. But then sends the text message that says basically the reason why she said it that way. You backed the right horse. You backed the right horse on this one, son.
Yeah, Dad, why don't we do it together?
Yes! You backed the right horse on this one, son.
Backed the right horse. Why are we talking about horses suddenly? Well, it's related to gambling and horse races. So, if you watch a horse race, you know that people gamble, people bet on horses. I think this one's going to win $200 on this one, $1,000 on that horse, right? It's called horse racing. It's called gambling on horses, betting on horses. Now, when we talk about that kind of thing, we talk about backing them. It's kind of like supporting them or putting money on them or saying, I think this one will win. Now, we often then use you backed the right horse or you backed the wrong horse. Backed the right horse or backed the wrong horse for all kinds of different things, like investing. I'm going to invest my money in that one, in this company. Someone might say, well, I think you might be backing the right horse. Or if you lose all of your money and the company fails and goes bankrupt, then you might say you definitely backed the wrong horse. So we use that expression, back the right horse and back the wrong horse, to talk about when we put our faith in someone or something, or when we think that this is going to succeed or fail. We make a choice between two things, or three things, or four things. That's how it's used. And then finally, knock this thing out. Knock this thing out in 2 or 3 days.
We'll get out the crayons, brew some coffee, and knock this thing out in 2 or 3 days.
To knock something out is to do it very successfully without much difficulty. We'll knock it out in a few days. It's not going to be a struggle for us. For example, you have a school project. You say, I think we can knock this project out pretty quickly. That means we can complete it quickly without much difficulty. Okay? We knocked out a few meetings and then went to lunch. We knocked out a few meetings and then went to lunch. Today I've knocked out 4 videos so far. That means I've filmed 4 videos. That's true. I've knocked out 4 videos. I've filmed 4 videos. Alright, so that's it for this video. Hopefully everything is really clear now. If you have any other questions about the clip we watched today or anything else, let me know in the comments. I really recommend that you check out this show. It's hilarious. It's hilarious. Also, if there are any other things that you'd like me to talk about, videos, movies, TV shows, whatever, let me know in the comments. I read all the comments, so make sure you do that. Make sure you also give the video a like if you like it, and also don't forget to subscribe. All right, thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you next time.